Thanks, students. I'm going to go over our assignment. Again, for any students that might have been absent, we are working on our Unit 2, Foodborne Illness, Food Politics lesson, and we are going to go to our Schoology, and you're going to click on your assignments, click on the tab for Food Politics. So let me go back. You had waited to clone or not to clone, and now you're going to go here to Food Politics. Click on Food Politics and click on Assignments for Food Politics. And they're asking us a question, and we're looking at Activity 1, Question 5. So there have been some national scares because of food contamination. Research one such outbreak. You did that last week. And you shared those links with myself and with other students in class. What food was contaminated? How many people became ill? Where was the food shipped? And what was the process for recalling the contaminated food? So there's quite a few questions they're asking here. So we need to make sure to answer all parts. One of them was to research, and we did. The next part was to tell about what food was contaminated and to find out how many people became ill, where the food was shipped, and what was the process for recalling the contaminated food. So there's a few parts to this small question that we need to answer and make sure that we answer all parts. This is a student model that I shared with you, showing you the proper format in which to answer the question using the claim, data, warrant format. And we will go over this again today in class. Next, I also shared with you a link to outbreaks of foodborne illness, and these are by year. So, for example, if I were to click on the salmonella poisoning for red onions, there would be an article about it, advice, and how the investigation went with recalling and how the recall went. Okay, that was one of the things, is like, what was the method of the recall? So you can look and read and find out. Here's the map of where the onions were shipped and who got infected. So here are the total number of illnesses. Here the case count is 1,127. This 167 hospitalizations. Thank God no one died. And there's some updates. So all of your information can be answered by visiting this website, because I got a few emails from students saying, well, a couple of the questions couldn't be answered because that information wasn't in their article. So you can switch your article. This has years from 2019, 2018. You could pick any of these to work on, okay? Let's look at the romaine lettuce that was recalled. So back in May, we had some lettuce recalled. 167 people sick, 85 hospitalizations, no death. These were the states that were affected. And talks about what E. coli is. And it was a small, like a small number of people infected. So this is a link that I also shared with you if you wanted to get further information about, to be able to answer the prompt, okay? And again, you're going to find that prompt in your Schoology, and you're going to turn it in to Schoology as well. So let's look at the student model. So it needs to be, number one, MLA formatted. And remember, in Google Docs, you could go to the template gallery here, click on template gallery. Remember, you go to your drive first up here, and then you would click on docs. So we're on docs right now. Remember, the drive is these 6 dots right here. And then you're going to click on template gallery. And they already have lots and lots of templates you can use. And you're going to click on MLA formatted. It's already done for you. And you're going to make sure you type your last name up here at the top. Okay, and you're going to make sure to answer all parts of Activity 1, Question 5, and it should look like this. So your name will go here, my name will go here, the subject here, English 11, and the date. So here is an example that a student turned in, and they answered all parts of the question, and I borrowed their example to share with you. So it says, on August 1st, 2020, Thompson International Inc. recalled all varieties of onions that could have come in contact with potentially contaminated red onions as well, or as a result, over 1,250 people became infected with salmonella. Then we have our data. And this goes, remember, this goes in the center of the paragraph. This is just how you, the same way you answer any writing prompt. And you put the data, from the actual article in quotation marks to support, to show that your claim is true. And the FDA, along with the CDC and state and local partners, made a recall and is investigating a multi-state outbreak of salmonella infections. And then the warrant, you're going to explain the data more and what the data proves as far as what you're claiming to be true in your answer. So warrant, due to the risk of the population getting sick from onions, the contaminated salmonella, from the onions that contained salmonella, the FDA recalled products that included red, yellow, white, and sweet yellow onions shipped across the U.S. and Canada from May 1st, 2020 to August 1st, 2020. The FDA contacted the stores the onions were shipped to, and they alerted the news media and consumers. So that's how they went about their recall, is they contacted news sources, they contacted the stores to pull them from the shelves. So this answers all parts of this prompt here. So it's asking, tell about the food that was contaminated. That student answered that. How many people became ill? That student answered that. Where was the food shipped? All across the U.S., the student answered that. And what was the process for recalling? The student also answered that by stating that local news outlets were contacted, and so were the markets in which the onions went to. So again, when you turn in your written prompt, it should look like this. Thank you to the student who let me borrow their example, okay? So you're going to make a claim. You're going to insert some data here from the actual article, word for word, and then you're going to make a warrant, okay? And that is a follow-up in which you are really kind of following up what you claimed, what was actually said in the article, and explaining it, okay? The warrant backs up the data and what the data proves, and that is exactly the format I need you to use. I will see you soon in class.